So here we are, this is the second part. As I said in the last video, there's 4 screws to take out around the outside. Don't take these ones out here because that's holding the motor in. These 4 screws here, Phillips screws, undo them, and then we can take the top off. Simple as that. Don't lose your on-off switch. Next thing to do now is this is the coil of the self recoil. Well, no, it's not self, you have to wind this one in the coil. We'll take that off, and what we've got in here then is some ring gear. Now your mains lead comes in and it's connected to these connectors in here, which are greased up. Now these connections have to mate with those 2 connections on the shell part there. This is part of this called ring gear. And if those are not making, then we won't go anywhere. But what we need to do is to test the mains lead from the plug in to these connections here. You can't see them very well because these are covered in grease, but if you wipe the grease off you'll see them. Now if you haven't got a test meter, then you're going to need maybe a battery and bulb to run through the lead and back again. Now the fault with this, as I've just found, is in actual fact the connectors have in fact broken off, and that's why this one is not working. So we'll just go ahead and clean these up, and that's the fault with this particular fella. So we're going to need new ring gear on this to make it work again. So there it is there. It's broken off, and that's why it's not working. And looks like the outer one is okay, where it slides across the outer track here. The inner one is broken off, there's one left, but that doesn't look too healthy. So we can clean those up and check these connectors are still in one piece. As I say, one of these connections has broken off, and the other one looks like it's been twisted when this was put back on, so it may not be making a connection, but there should be 2, not just one, but just one. It should still work as one, but we'll get new ring gear on that. Now if the fault doesn't stick out on you like that and you need to find the fault, what you have to do, the plug's been chopped off this, is strip your lead back, burr those 2 leads, and in these connectors in here, if you connect a bit of wire from the one set to the other, short them out, one to the other, and then on this end here, what you can do is with your 2 leads that will be sticking out on this, 2 leads, you can put your multimeter across there and see if you get a reading. It should go right across to a dead short. Another way of testing the lead is you can use a battery and bulb one of the leads goes to one end of the battery, the other end of the battery goes to the bulb, and the other lead goes to the other connection or the outside of the bulb. See if it lights up. If it lights up, how you're going to make these connections is you can solder the lead on, or you can use a set of batteries and a torch in a case and wire it the best way you can to see if the bulb lights when it goes through the lead, it means the lead's okay. If you can shake the lead while it's all connected up and see if the light goes on and off, it means it's intermittent. In other words, it's got a break, and sometimes it's working, sometimes it isn't. So that's the mains lead, how you can test that. The connections which you'll have to fix if you have to put a new mains lead on are inside this coil, so you can take this lead off and you'll have to take off the wheel itself. You just undo this. This is a strip down anyway. You've got 3 screws in here. These are Phillips screws again. Now if it's not the lead and it's not the ring gear connectors, the next thing we're going to need to check is the wiring to the switch and the switch itself, because you can find a switch goes open circuit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's quite common with vacuum cleaners because they get a hammering. Now here's your 2 leads. This is your mains lead coming in here, and it connects onto here. Now is that dust or is it a hot spot? It's just dust. It's just dust. So here's your connections to your ring gear. There's your interference suppressor there. It's got a little resistor across it. That won't stop it from working unless it goes dead short, of course, and then it will blow the fuse. So there's your one connector, under that one, and then put your new lead on. That's that part. Keep all your screws together. The next thing we're going to do now is to remove the motor itself. So take off all of these 3 screws in the middle now. Well, not in the middle, on the outside. I did have an electric screwdriver, but this is what happens when you lend tools out, they don't come back. These are your handles what close the case. See where they go on there, keep them. Keep your 3 screws in here. There we are. And here we have the connections to the switch. Now, if you don't have a multimeter, you'll have to make up a battery and bulb, and you need to put them in a case and have your 2 leads coming out, which one lead goes to the, let's say, the negative side of the battery. The other side of the battery goes to the, say, the bottom pin connector on the bulb, goes through the bulb. The other side of the bulb, you've got a lead comes out and comes across. Then you've got 2 leads going through a battery and bulb. You can connect those across the switch. Try switching it on and off on the various connections and see what works and what doesn't. Don't try and work on these while it's switched on. There's no need for that. Even if you're an engineer, we don't work on these while they're plugged in. It's just far too dangerous. There's the motor. There's your 2 leads to the motor. And there's a money spider just come out. Hey, come here. No, he doesn't want to know me. Whoa, I'm not going to be rich today. Oh well, please yourself. Now, so we pull these tags off. If they don't come off easily, then they've got a little pip on them, which you have to press with a screwdriver. I don't know if there's got the pip on or not. Oh no, they haven't. Some of them have got a little pip, but you have to press with a screwdriver and it releases it from inside. Okay. Right, so you can check your switches. There's your power switch there. This is your speed switch here. Brings in another set of field windings in there to make it speed up. So check your switch, check the leads are on. These won't be open circuit, but you never know, you may find a lead hanging off. Now we come to the motor now. These rubber bushes here are to help position the motor and keep it right. There's your motor turbine or fan, if you like to call it a fan, in there. The motor connections here, we'll take this end cap bearing off. Well, it's not a bearing, it's a mount. It's a motor mount. That can come off. Now in here you can see the armature which turns, and you've got power comes in, goes to the armature, goes around the armature, out the other side, round your field windings, then back to your switch. There are two sets of windings in here for the speed to go from normal to high speed. Your brushes are here. These are the brushes. The brushes, unless if one's crumbled away and gone, it could make it stop, but it can also damage the segments on the armature. It's very important not to touch the armature. And then you can look at the motor. You may see it burnt. You may not. It could be an open circuit or it could be burnt out. When it comes to that stage, if it's not your brushes or lead off the brushes, or a brush missing completely, it's disintegrated and gone, then you're looking at just replacing the motor itself. Replace the whole unit. You can take this off if you want to, and just replace the motor. This is your mounting rubber that goes on there. In the next video we'll strip this down. That's all for this video. I hope it's been some use to you. See you in part 3. Bye for now.